an entire week. Rose chuckled at her own joke and the mention of last week's zombie apocalypse survival conversation. While Olive didn't put Baxter Donovan at the exact same danger level as a zombie horde, it was a hell of a close race. Much closer than Rose and Vi, her Trip Witch sisters, believed. Nothing about the tatted-up guardian angel screamed rest and relaxation. Panty-melting bad witch fantasies? Absolutely. R&R? Not in the least. Her law school education evaporated the second his impressive biceps twitched while in close proximity. Now she'd live with those colorful vein-bulging arms. And with the abs and the double nipple piercings she was 75% certain he had thanks to a summer barbecue and Vi's game of shoot the guys with super soakers. Olive pulled her knit cap off her head and fanned her suddenly warm face. Where was a good zombie horde when you needed one? Ollie. Rose tucked a box into her hands. This is happening. Enjoy it in this adorable Astoria, Queens neighborhood and get your ass moving. These boxes won't move themselves. Rose's half-demon veterinarian hottie Damian Adams stepped out of the building and headed their way. Her sister's eyes instantly lit up as she soaked in the sight of her soulmate. Olive smiled. Of all the rampant changes for the Maxwell triplets over the last few months, the most satisfying one was Rose and Vi both finding their perfect matches. Vi, after thinking magic had abandoned her for her entire life, now stood center stage in the magical community, preparing to take over as Prima, witch leader, from their grandma Edie. And Rose, who'd been groomed for the role since she lost her first tooth, had stepped down to find her own thing. A few failed jobs and a run-in with the law later, she'd found that thing in supernatural bounty hunting. And Damien. Everything had changed. Everyone evolved. Except her. Her fine, dirty blonde hair still refused to hold a curl or hair dye, and her astigmatism made going without her thick glasses a high-risk life choice. She had the same job, which she loved, and was still convinced olives were the byproduct of an evil mastermind. And despite the occasional attempt in masking her 5'3" stature with heels, she was still vertically challenged and had inherited what her grandma called extra cushion for the pushin'. Packing up her meager belongings and switching New York City boroughs was the most exciting thing to happen to her in years. She didn't make a run for Jersey yet. Easiest $20 I've ever made. I should double my bet, Damien murmured against Rose's lips as he pulled her in for a quick kiss. Bet? What bet? Olive's gaze shot back and forth between the two lovebirds. Rose grinned sheepishly. That would be... The one on whether or not you'd steal the truck if we left you out here long enough, Bax supplied. The guardian angel and her new roomie stepped out from the building with a smirk on his face, as he obviously overheard part of their discussion. Loose basketball shorts and a sleeveless t-shirt showcased his full-sleeve tattoos and his caramel-colored hair, bunched in a low, messy man bun, made an on-a-dry-spell witch, such as herself, wonder what those long tresses felt like between the legs. The man was the visual definition of sex and sin, the kind that would be, oh, so bad in a really, really good way. As if sensing her detour into Naughtyville, Bax lifted his scar-sliced left eyebrow and threw her a sexily suggestive wink. Muscles, tattoos, and motorcycle aside, the real threat to libidos everywhere? Those eyes. Born with heterochromia, Bax possessed one gorgeously gray iris and one hazel that leaned heavily into blue, and they possessed the ability to stare straight into a witch's soul and caress it as if it were a purring